So I don't know if y'all remember the fact that they cast Zoe Saldana in the Nina Simone biopic instead of giving it to Viola Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe Saldana was like infamous on the internet for saying she wasn't black because she's a black Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
She had to claim her blackness in order to justify her taking that role away from somebody who looked more like Nina Simone,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But kind of going back to like the texture thing, like one thing that happens a lot in like Dominican salons, if you're not careful, is they slip in relaxers and other chemical treatments into women's hair to give them that more desirable texture. It's common in that community,
Maybe that's
even though
started breaking off.
it,
You
it
ain't
might
gonna put no
be or
relax in
like
your hair without
keratin
you knowing.
treatments. What's that?
You think people put relaxers in people's hair without them knowing?
Absolutely. It's a known phenomenon that if you're not making sure, if you have a coarser texture, they will, like, if it's not a relaxer, it's a keratin treatment. It's something to give you that more desirable texture.
I know they
And
charge more.
they might, right? And
Put that
so
relaxer in
Have
your hair.
hair and it's not blown, like if it's not, you know how you could just blow it out straight. I used to get charged more.
yeah, so but that's the thing, right? Is like when they do things like that, it perpetuates the stereotype that, Hispanic women have good hair. A lot of them have treatments and don't know it or are encouraged to get the treatments in order to have desired texture, right? Like it really isn't just us.
Mm.
What do y'all think is more dangerous? Propaganda or one man, like nationwide propaganda, or one man with a gun on a shooting spree?
Propaganda.
Nationwide propaganda.
Okay.
Without question.
Okay. Just curious. I think a lot of times we don't. When you understand that, then you can look at the world from a lens where you can see. Like I try and focus on like, all right, if there manipulation occurring 9 times out of 10, it is. What is the direction of the manipulation? To whose advantage? To whose disadvantage? Why are they doing this? And then I try and make informed decisions based off understanding that. If you kind of look at the world through that lens, a lot of stuff will start to be like that. You'll be angry too, because you'll be like, damn, I really see what's going on now. But all of this is propaganda. Like that's why I say I feel like that gender war thing is manufactured. You take the like in the social media age, back to my original point about what's sensationalized is the hottest thing, and negativity spreads faster. It's prime for the course. It was prime for the course for us to be in this position where we spent hours yelling at each other and calling each other names and saying we're gonna go get the other. And then you slide right in with a movie, a commercial, or a TV show where being with the other is the most safe, the most fun, the most luxurious, the most. This is
Well, I
a
don't think it's
propaganda
the most. I
machine.
don't think it. So the thing about it is, I don't think it's the most safe. I think that the end of the day, if nobody wants to marry you, if you marry, marriage is the end goal for you, and you can't find you're only finding men who want to be in long term relationships with you, and they are not seeking marriage, or you're only finding men who just want to sleep with you or whatever. You have to go where people want the same thing you want. It's compatibility, right?
Mhm.
So it,
Even that people don't like. So even men that want to be married, that the way we view women, right? So it's like the art created life, and then life imitates the art, right? So there was a era where when gangster rap first really started taking off, where women was talked about in a certain way, right? And then we started to view women like that, or they started to act like that. I can't really tell you which one came first,
mhm.
but that would remove the pool of marriage minded men through that narrative of propaganda by being pushed. Because at one point in time, it was all politically conscious, uplifting, like word from the street what was happening via the music. Then it turned into something else. And the thing that got picked up, pushed, and promoted was the something else. Especially when we're not the number one consumer base, so we can't even control the image at that point. Like all of that stuff is propaganda.
I beg to differ. You can control the image. The thing is that it's money over the mission, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
so you have every right to control the messaging, but because the money is more important, you sell your soul in order to make the money. And I think that's the bigger issue. So we'll talk about, oh, it's the, the white people are buying the albums. Yes, they are, which also reinforces in their mind how we're pushing that narrative to them. They're consuming that music as well. The difference is they also have power behind that propaganda where we don't. And then the other thing is that we totally have the ability to change the direction and change the dynamic of what is being posted on social media, but we're playing into that ourselves. We're playing into that. So we can't blame the white man. We can't blame the man on our own choices of that type of behavior.
For real.
Now we can shut it down, and we've proven that in the 60s when we worked together as a collective to create a different change. But we're not willing to do that because we are easily bought.
The hyper-capitalistic state that we in is responsible for the downfall of the community. Because I would argue that,
absolutely,
the materialism that is displayed from the men and the women, and at this point, what you have to have in order to get the women that you want has led us into a loop where to get off this wheel is going to require it's knowledge itself really is the answer, but we struggle with nuance. So like knowledge itself is a foreign concept when you can't even determine nuance between conversations. Like people, I would love to give people more credit than I actually think, but it's hard when you just listen to people speak and it's like you're hearing something that wasn't said, so you can go in the direction you want to go. So if they push some propaganda and it's in the direction they want to go, they're gonna take that so far to the extreme that it's really it's sad. Really, it's really sad. It's sad. It really is sad.
And let me just tell y'all, like this is the comment that's happening now, but it's gonna be more women like that. It's gonna be a lot of Black women going that route. I can foresee it.
It's the result of propaganda.
The stats are already showing that, not like that the increase in interracial dating, not just Black women, but I mean across the board, that there's been an increase in interracial dating.
There was a time when I can say I rarely even saw it. It would just be like, one person out of, I have had in my social circle, I've had 3 friends in the last 3 years. Crazy. 3 and 3.
All right, so with the metrics I used earlier, if you look at who benefits from the manipulation, what the end result is, and to whose detriment is it, if you like calculate those things, then you could see exactly what I'm looking at, and you probably be like, yeah, that is kind of, because what's the end result?
It depends on which lens you're looking through. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're looking at it at an individual basis, especially looking at that young lady and her situation, for her, the end result is exactly what she was looking for. So if she ended up getting married and having kids and a family, which is what she was looking for, then there is no propaganda in her mind. You know what I'm saying? Because she got the result she wanted.
I can't hear you, Mark. Your mic is.
I'm saying
okay.
I'm saying let's say her kids end up doing the exact same thing. Then what happens? That's not a Black person no more after
that. So what you're asking, so you're asking people, and this is for Black men and Black women alike. You're asking them to choose the community over themselves. Okay, you're saying, okay, because your kids your Blackness may run out because of the choice that you're making, that you should go back and just be lonely and single and just keep taking the hits that you've taken and not get married. It's not gonna, people are just not gonna do it.
I'm not asking them to do anything. I'm just simply saying, what is the result and what's the sum of that result? I'm not telling nobody to do nothing. People free to live their own life.